Well guys, what we got here is a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. It's a two-door hardtop. It's probably one of the most iconic cars in the American legends of cars. I suppose what makes this really rare, and when I say rare, is it is a two-door. And while the majority of the Chevys made were actually four-door, the two-door was like the sports model. It's called the two-door sports coupe. This car was built over a 4.5-year period in the USA, in the state of Georgia, by a panel beater actually, and he did it during his off hours and spent a lot of time, and I believe he sunk around about $140,000 into this car, and a lot of blood, sweat and tears. But as you can see, it's turned out beautiful. Now, while it looks really nice on the top, the underneath of the car is just as clean. It's been completely, it's what they call a frame-off restoration car, which means they've lifted the body off the frame, completely stripped back the body, not just bolted it up, they've actually patch welded any rust or anything like that, and it's a complete frame-off restoration car. Now, you're not going to see many of this quality here in Australia, and when they do come to Australia, they don't last long. Very rarely do you see a car of this quality available for sale. However, I do have another one coming very soon, so we are going to let this one go. But as you can see, it's got the original retro looking dash on the inside there, retro steering wheel. It is in miles per hour. Now, interesting thing, back years ago when you brought a car like this into Australia, you actually had to convert it over to a right-hand drive. However, with new laws, we're actually now, anything 88 and below, you are now allowed to drive on the left-hand side. I think what makes the Chevy Bel Air is the classic Chevy fins, and this is what's probably most iconic about these cars. When people see the Chevy Bel Air fins, you instantly know it's a 57 Chevy. Now, the original wheels on this particular car, everything on this car is stock standard except for the wheels and the disc brakes. Now, quite often the Chevys were notorious for not braking very well. They had you wouldn't be able to pull the car up very well, so there has been disc brakes installed on this car. The original wheels are still available. I have the original wheels. They've sort of been put away in the shed, because I figured by putting these chrome rims on, it gives it a sharper look. But however, if you wanted to turn this into a classic car, you got that classic sort of look again, you'd put the white wall tyres back on, and the spats that actually go down the side here, so it just sort of covers half of the wheel. Gives it that real traditional sort of look. But anyway guys, that's my 1957 Chevy Bel Air. A beautiful, beautiful car. A car I'm very proud of, and a car many Americans have owned and are very proud of. One of the most recognised cars in the world, the 1957 Chevy Bel Air. Guys, let's have a look under the hood here. Now, as you can see underneath here, this is the stock standard motor. It is a 283, which was a factory motor that actually came out in 1957. However, in this particular motor, the carburetor is not the original carburetor. Now, the reason why is today's fuel is a little bit different, and we have got a different carburetor. It's an Edelbrook carburetor. So it actually helps the car perform a little bit better. But everything in here is original. There may be some slight upgrades with some chrome here and there, but what you see here on most of this car is what would have actually rolled off the showroom floor in 1957. What I love about these old cars is they're safe. I mean, a lot of the modern cars today are very plasticky, whereas a lot of metal put in the 57 and a lot of metal in the older cars. I love this car. It's a beautiful car, and it is definitely living up to its name as a rare 57, because there's not many of the two-door hardtops in this condition.
Beautiful. So guys, if you're interested in this car, it is available for purchase. Now, if you'd like to know more about the price and what's included in the car, you can actually contact me directly on 0431 33 7777. That number again, 0431 33 7777. Email Darren@darrengaudry.com. That's DARREN at DARRENGAUDRY.com.